Iceland, often known as the land of fire and ice, has quickly become one of the most popular tourist destinations in recent years. Iceland offers everything from a plethora of volcanoes, lava fields, and craters, to a plethora of gushing waterfalls and stunning glaciers, to the mysterious northern lights dancing in the sky, and various black sand beaches with distinct rock formations. It's easy to see why travelers are drawn to the country. This country has several distinguishing characteristics that set it apart from others. Let's take a look at them. Here are 15 awesome facts we bet you didn't know about Iceland. Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. We have some exciting stories and facts for you all, so make sure to comment below what you think about Iceland. Make sure you click subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to press the bell icon. With that said, let's begin. Number 15. Iceland uses an odd naming system. Unlike in other nations, the majority of Icelanders do not have a surname or family name. Of course, there are outliers, but they are few and generally Danish, the result of outsiders marrying into an Icelandic family. Gerhard, former prime minister, Anita Breen, actress, and Halldór Laxness, author, are all famous Icelanders who inherited a family name. Instead, it is traditional for Icelanders to have a patronymic last name, formed of their father's name with the ending son for boys or dóttir for girls. Number 14. Technicolor beaches. The black beaches of Iceland, made famous by Game of Thrones, are not CGI, they are genuine. The beautifully lonely and distant beaches are oddly charming. Black beaches can be seen in a few areas of Iceland. They're all constructed of volcanic rocks that have been eroded into the sand by the water. Reynisfjara is one of Iceland's most famous black beaches, located near the little fishing community of Vik í Mýrdal. Number 13. Names for babies. You cannot name your child in Iceland if the naming committee has not given its approval. Doesn't that make it sound dystopian? The Icelandic Naming Committee has been operating since 1991. Protecting Icelandic naming customs from outside influence is its primary goal. Additionally, it is meant to safeguard against naming someone who will bother them. If you are expecting a kid and you are thinking about giving him or her a name that hasn't been authorized by the naming committee, you will need to apply directly to them and wait until they make a decision. They regularly reject names that are thought to pose a risk of trouble for the bearer, or those that are difficult to grammatically correct to Icelandic. Number 12. Polar stratospheric clouds. Intriguing tourist attractions in Iceland include the polar stratospheric clouds. The uncommon and stunning polar stratospheric clouds are nature's other words from the polar region, casting an iridescent pastel tint in the Arctic sky shortly after sunset. These unusual and distinctive clouds, also known as nacreous clouds, ice polar stratospheric clouds, or mother of pearl clouds, have piqued the interest of scientists, environmentalists, and enthusiasts of nature for several reasons. Number 11. Gender equality. Here's another delightfully shocking truth from Iceland's mysterious valley. Being ranked first for the 9th year in a row in the Global Gender Gap Index by the World Economic Forum is an accomplishment for Icelanders. Ranking at the top is validation of the achievements made in previous decades and motivates us to keep pursuing complete equality of position, sway, and power for men and women. Despite being an island, Iceland has participated in efforts to advance gender equality. As is the case around the world, the solidarity of women human rights activists in questioning and opposing the monopoly of power held by males and the authority of men over women is first responsible for our slow but steady progress. Number 10. There is not a single McDonald's or Burger King restaurant in Iceland. Iceland is one of the few nations in the world without a McDonald's or Burger King eateries, which may appear odd. However, both chains had their Reykjavik locations open in the 1990s, but they were no longer there after the financial crisis. It was replaced by a franchise named Metro, whose menu is extremely similar in both appearance and flavor, and is owned by McDonald's. But that doesn't mean Icelanders aren't huge fans of fast food. In fact, you can find other American restaurants like KFC, Domino's, and Taco Bell here. Number 9. Iceland has Europe's largest banana plantation. Iceland perhaps boasts Europe's largest banana plantation, even though its environment is not optimal for banana cultivation. The Icelandic Agricultural University is in charge of overseeing the nation's banana industry, which is housed in a greenhouse in the village of Reykjavik in South Iceland. It is true that the annual crop is very small, only 500 to 2,000 kilograms. Iceland began producing bananas in 1941. Bananas might be grown in the midst of the North Atlantic by using inexpensive geothermal energy to heat the greenhouses and cheap electricity to provide lighting during the darkest months. Icelanders continued to eat domestically produced bananas until the late 1950s because import levies on foreign items and fruit made them competitive. However, since 1959, all bananas offered for sale in supermarkets have been imported. Number 8. Iceland has an app to check your relatives. With a population of over 330,000, more than 2/3 of Icelanders reside in the area surrounding Reykjavik, the country's capital. The fact that most Icelanders are distantly related shouldn't come as a surprise given the country's tiny size, homogeneous population, and lack of immigration over the previous century except from the last few years. Icelanders have created a mobile application called Icelandinga app, in reference to Icelandinga Bók, or the Book of Icelanders, a website that lists all Icelanders since the first immigrants in the 11th century and lists the manner in which everyone is related throughout the decades. This is done to keep the dating game strong and to avoid any surprises down the road. This highly thorough genealogical database was built with the goal of determining whether your prospective romantic partner is a distant relative before moving forward, and the Icelandinga app is a mobile version of it. Number 7. There's an elf school. All of these myths, Santa Claus, Rudolph, the North Pole, and the Yeti, were created for children in order to make the holidays more magical. But what if we're all mistaken? There are aspects of the holiday season that some people actually strongly believe in, and you can learn all about them at Reykjavik Elf School, a real place that exists and actually thrives. While we can all agree that the idea of one man delivering presents to everyone on the planet is impossible, you can actually learn all about them there. With students from all over the globe attending, Iceland's Elf School has emerged as the best and only location to examine decades worth of proof, first-hand testimonies, and artifacts that imply pointy-eared, pixie-faced charmers do in fact exist. As you can see, elves are genuinely taken seriously in Iceland. In fact, 54% of the people there think that they're all alive and well. So if there's anywhere in the world where you might learn a little something about them, it would be from these people. Number 6. Buying books is a Christmas tradition. It should come as no surprise that their preferred holiday present is a book. The Christmas book flood, or jólabókaflóð, is a well-known custom in which books are presented as presents on Christmas Eve. Every Icelander is said to receive at least one book for Christmas each year. For Iceland's 120 publishing houses, which estimate that 80% of all book sales occur in the 2 months leading up to Christmas, this ongoing passion for reading is fantastic news. According to reports, Iceland produces more books per person than any other country in the world. Number 5. Babies sleep outside. Unattended, parents allow their kids to play in the street or other public spaces. Children frequently ride the bus without their parents. A baby left asleep in a stroller outside of a house, grocery shop, or cafe is another familiar sight. As a result, the baby can rest outside while the parents go about their daily activities. If we overlook the financial crimes, Iceland is thought of as a relatively safe location with an exceptionally low crime rate, even if this may seem like irresponsible behavior in many nations with high crime rates. Number 4. Comedian mayor. The best party was started in 2010 by a comedian from Iceland named John Gar, and a few other individuals who had no prior political experience. He obviously ran a mockery of a mayoral campaign, but to his shock, he actually won. He ultimately served from 2010 until 2014, totaling 4 years. Number 3. Closing time. Depending on where you are in the entire world, closing time might vary greatly, but in Iceland, stores close quite early and open rather late. The majority of shops close at 5 o'clock and don't reopen until around 9 the next morning. Anything open after those times will cost you a lot more money. Number 2. Marriage in Iceland. The Icelandic phrase for marriage, brúðkaup, literally translates to buying the bride. The term and a symbolic trade between the fathers of the bride and the groom survived, despite the fact that no one is purchasing anyone these days. The bride is being escorted down the aisle by her father. The Icelandic wedding ritual involves a lot of standing and sitting, and when the couple exchange vows, the groom and bride's father trade seats. Number 1. Glacier rivers. Iceland is a nation of breathtaking beauty, with old rivers that are studded with gems and come from glaciers that have lived there for a very long time. The Glacier River winds its way all the way to Thorsmore in the Highlands. It almost seems as though Mother Nature is attempting to pull the starry night sky closer to the Earth. That ends today's video. Please leave a comment below to let us know what your thoughts are about these facts. Like and share this video to get more information about various things around the world. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We'll see you in the next video.